I'm probably part of the 2% hobby community members that actually likes this, but it doesn't mean it was the best decision that Hasbro as a large corporation ever made. Hasbro has been known to make their occasional brand hiccup now and again, especially in recent years. Magic the Gathering and D&D are two that come to mind. If you've been on the community side of this hobby long enough, it doesn't take more than 2 brain cells to figure out that Hasbro has no interest in the Nerf modder or tinkerer. Heck, I'd be surprised if they're even interested in the Nerf game community or Nerf competitive tournament community at all. Even their pro release last summer, the Strife X, included darts that only work best with that particular blaster and a battery pack that's proprietary to that blaster as well. Hasbro doesn't publicly state the number of units sold for their products, but we know for a fact that enthusiasts, not even hardcore enthusiasts, but just your general Nerf enthusiast, was not very fond of Hyper, Ultra, and definitely Elite 2.0. This is exactly why these new leaks of the new Nerf N Series line is no surprise to me. It is crystal clear by now that Hasbro's #1 client is the casual buyer and not the foam flinging enthusiast. Even their Pro line, which debuted last summer, was meant to give casuals a shot at pro level performance without having to delve in custom batteries or fancy mods. Sure, it's cool to bring new people into the hobby, it's what we're all about, but Hasbro definitely knows what they're doing. The Strife X Pro was an online only item, and they pinpointed select influencers to send this to, a lot of which were either YouTube irrelevant by now or not even recognized or acknowledged by the foam flinging community. So basically, in resume, Nerf does not need the small minority of the Nerf modding or enthusiast community to like them. They just need to keep pumping out brand new shiny shells, especially with new ammunition types, to keep the casuals coming back and buying more products. This is why I'm not even upset when looking at the N Series leaked photos and all their proprietary attributes. At this point, this kind of behavior is expected. All this aside, at the end of the day, as a modder, I still have interest in this because that's what we do. We get blasters that are subpar in stock form, and we enjoy upgrading them and enhancing their abilities. That's where the zen or the fun is for a modder. So given that information, I still want to provide my perspective on these blasters from my point of view, at least cover the ones that got my interest right now. Obviously, the one that made the debut and revealed this entire line upon the first leak was the Agility. This seems to be some kind of strong arm oid or disruptor oid of a blaster. I really like it. I love the shell. I love everything about the blaster, if we're being honest and keeping the ammo out of the equation. I'm excited to see if they change anything as far as performance, accuracy at the very least, if they're not planning on bumping up that 70 FPS average that they've had for decades now. As far as the Sprinter goes, well, who doesn't love a good bullpup? They're practically a Nerf delicacy. I pointed out in my video about the Nerf Halo MA40 bullpup just how much of a hot commodity this kind of blaster is in both the 3D space and in the retail space. So therefore, any kind of excitement that would exist for this upcoming blaster is kind of self-defined, as long as you keep that proprietary ammo idea at bay. Unless this revolutionary new nubbed dart that Hasbro's coming out with ends up somehow magically being the new meta because it's so incredibly sophisticated and defies all norms of aerospace and ballistic standards. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Who knows? They got away with the crappy Elite dart for nearly 2 decades, so who knows what can happen. The shells look very, very neat. This one has some very cool sci-fi aesthetics. I'm interested and at the same time curious to know what the quality is gonna be like on these shells. Not too long ago on a Foam News Collective episode, it was spoken how Hasbro's approach to trying to recover their financial losses was to diminish the quality of the plastics, but in a streamlined way that wouldn't compromise quality. I'm not even sure what that means. We're just gonna have to get our hands on them and see what they're talking about. So far, all the 2024 blasters that we've seen from Hasbro, at least on the Rival line, I've gotten my hands on the Mirage and the Challenger. They feel just like the prior blasters. Very sturdy, very nice quality. So I'm kind of curious on how they're going to stealthily create this cost-cutting measure in their materials without us noticing, especially us nitpickers. Finally, one of the blasters that I'm definitely got my eyes on is the Infinite. We all know that it's gonna be some kind of AEB because it has a pump action mechanism, or you can also run it electrically, which usually means AEB, unless they just found a way to completely screw that up and make a pump action flywheeler. Hey, it's possible. I mean, the Minecraft Saber Wing bow exists. But anyway, I don't really care for speculation videos. I kind of stopped making them because I feel like it's kind of like a waste of not only my time, but the audience's time. You guys don't need to know what some random guy like me thinks about the blasters. You want to know what we feel when we have them in our hands. And that's why I kind of just wait till products come out to acquire them and then give you my thoughts. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the Nerf N Series line. Are you excited excited about it, or are you just like, it's another Ultra, or are you just like, I gotta get my hands on it to see what I think? I'm probably gonna pick them up when they come out, but I'm an idiot. I like to mess around with things and see what they can do. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just wait till they go on clearance like they always do, because Hasbro stuff always ends up on the clearance bin, like their gel blasters going for $4 or $5. If you like this video, you might wanna check out this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blasting, foam fam.